questionable monster designs that make you want to crack your DS in half isn't anything new to the Pokemon series, so let's talk about all the majestic and charming ones that deserve all of your rainbow Pokebeans. From Red and Blue to Sun and Moon, Pokemon has come a long way for trainers everywhere. Hey trial goers, I'm Ivan with the Leaderboard, and we're here to cover our favorite Pokemon that we would take to the Battle Royale. So get your party ready, cause this is the 10 best Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Let's get started. Number 10, Alolan Raichu. Well, how could we not put this Surge Surfer on the list? Surfing Pikachu has been a long-standing dream in the series, and Alolan Raichu actually surfs on its tail. The design changes between Alolan Raichu and regular Raichu aren't that huge. The sharp ears have been rounded out and given an overall softer appearance, throw in some colored contacts and a little bit of a tan, and you've got yourself an Alolan Raichu. On top of that, when you bring Alolan Raichu into Pokemon Refresh, they sit on their tails while you pet them. You'd have to be completely dead inside not to think that's the most adorable thing ever. Not only is it extremely cute, but Alolan Raichu definitely packs a punch with its new ability Surge Surfer. While already being a fast Pokemon to begin with, its speed doubles in electric terrain, allowing it to hit hard and outspeed common threats in the current Pokemon metagame. Plus, there's also that fun online theory about Alolan Raichu being based on Puka, the blue-eyed surfing Pikachu from that one episode of the anime. Number 9, Decidueye. But how can we make a top 10 list of the best Pokemon without including your first companion in the game? One of the great things about all the starters from Alola is that the final evolutions are nowhere near what you'd have expected them to be. You know, unless you looked up the leaks. Adorable Poplio becomes the majestic Primarina, cute little Litten becomes a Fire Luchador Incineroar, and innocent Rowlet becomes a badass Robin Hood Ghost Archer. It's very rare that the grass starter is the coolest of the starting trio. Sorry everybody, but it's true. But one look at Decidueye and you already know it's an awesome Pokemon. It's an owl archer that uses its wing as a bow and shoots feather arrows? Feather arrows, people! But Decidueye gets even cooler. With access to moves like Swords Dance, Sucker Punch, Leaf Blade, and its signature move Spirit Shackle, you have a pretty decent physical threat. Decidueye is most likely based on the Pueo, which is the native owl of Hawaii. Pueo even have hoods too. What makes Decidueye even cooler is the fact that it comes from the pompous looking Dartrix, and it's almost impossible to ignore the Oliver Queen / Green Arrow similarities, and Green Arrow is dope. Pair up a Decidueye with an Electrode, Porygon, Empoleon, Golbat, and Lucario, and you've got yourself a Pokemon Justice League team. Number 8, Golisopod. The winner of the most unexpected evolution of all time goes to Golisopod. It's hard to believe that this monster samurai water bug evolves from Wimpod, a Pokemon that actually needs no input from its trainer to switch itself out after taking way too much damage. Its name even comes from the word wimp. So yeah, believe it or not, those first impressions can be wrong, considering this Goliath of an isopod comes from something literally named for how weak and feeble it is. Speaking of first impressions, Golisopod's signature move works well with its ability Emergency Exit, allowing it to switch out, then switch back in to deal a ton of damage on the first turn. Think of it as an ironic sucker punch to all those foolish Pokemon that bullied him when he was just a tiny Wimpod. So work hard, eat right, and get yourself a gym membership, kids, and one day you too may grow up to be a badass buff water bug. Want to see what destruction looks like? Well, here it is in Pokemon form. It's your bug Golisopod. I mean, really, when your boy Guzma chooses Golisopod as his go-to Pokemon, you know it's cool. Because Guzma oozes cool. Number 7, Alolan Marowak. Let's be honest, the original Marowak is more confusing than anything. Cubones wear the skulls of their deceased mother Marowaks, but what if I just put 2 Marowaks in the daycare and they have an egg? Does one of them automatically die just to give the baby Cubone a skull to wear? There are so many questions that just kind of go unanswered. Alolan Marowak is the Marowak we truly deserve. Design-wise, not much has changed. Alolan Marowak is slightly thinner and taller than its Kanto counterpart, but the behind-the-scenes aesthetics are what really matter. To end the confusion, Alolan Marowak is part ghost type. It all just comes together so well. This is the dream that was born when we all visited the ghost tower in Lavender Town, the ability to catch the ghostly Marowak. Well, now in Alola, the dream comes true and no Sylph Scope needed. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, Alolan Marowak is also part fire type. While this does add a few extra weaknesses to our beloved Marowak, it also adds a fairy resistance, making Alolan Marowak a great addition to any team having a tough time dealing with all those Tapus running around. Now, it'd be a crime not to mention the best part, its bone is on fire. No, seriously, check this out. Alolan Marowaks rub their bones against their heads to light them on fire as an adaptation to fend off grass types living in Alola. They're basically fire dancing ghost warriors, and it's awesome. Number 6, Wishiwashi. Throughout the years, fish Pokemon haven't exactly worked out. While everyone loves Gyarados, every other fish Pokemon has been somewhere in between either meh or bleh, with the exception of Luvdisc, who is just terrible. That is, until now. Wishiwashi benefits from being 2 Pokemon in one. Its solo form is a remarkably cute crying sardine thing, and the fact that it's the small fry Pokemon is even more adorable. But let's face it, being cute alone isn't going to help you much in battle. That's why when Wishiwashi reaches level 20, it gains the ability Schooling, allowing it to change forms and gain a huge boost in its overall stats. In its school form, hundreds or even thousands of Wishiwashi band together and make a monstrous behemoth. In Pokemon lore, Wishiwashi is considered the demon of the sea, and even wild Gyarados run in fear. However, all this power does come with a catch. Wishiwashi is incredibly slow and loses its school form when its health reaches below 25%. Despite this, however, Wishiwashi is still a solid Pokemon, with its move pool of powerful water attacks and ability to take advantage of Trick Room. Whether you need a cute Pokemon to make you smile or a badass one to show off your friends, get yourself a Pokemon who can do both. Find yourself a Wishiwashi. Number 5. Mimikyu. This one may be controversial, but we personally love Mimikyu. Pikachu has always been the mascot of the franchise, and with every generation, Nintendo and Game Freak attempt to introduce a new Pikachu-level Pokemon. Johto brought Pichu, Hoenn introduced Plusle and Minun, Pachirisu joined in Sinnoh, Emolga was the Unova edition, Kalos brought us Dedenne, and while Alola introduced Togedemaru, Mimikyu is the real Pikachu. Mimikyu wears an adorably creepy Pikachu disguise because it actually wants to be Pikachu. That's not deranged, right? It's actually kinda sweet. But of course, this disguise isn't just adorable, but also functions as a pseudo substitute for Mimikyu to eat up one free hit without taking any damage. This is great for switching Mimikyu in safely as a pivot, or for giving it a turn to set up a swords dance and proceed to sweep. The Pokemon underneath the disguise saw how much everyone loved Pikachu and made its costume to try and capture some of that love, making Mimikyu completely relatable. It is the perfect mix for a Pokemon that is cute, but also looks like it can fight. Maybe it's because under that adorable costume is a terrifying death hand that looks like a floor master from Zelda. There's even a Mimikyu-themed music video on the Pokemon Company's YouTube channel, in case you can't get enough of this adorable fairy ghost. Number 4. Celesteela. What's that? Ultra Beasts aren't considered Pokemon? Well, listen here, buddy. If I can catch it in a ball and make it fight against its will, then it's a Pokemon in my book. Celesteela is a massive space shuttle bamboo princess from another world, with enormous cannon arms that help it fly and blow things up. If that doesn't give it a spot on this list, then I don't know what will. Boasting amazing stats and an interesting move pool consisting of Leech Seed, Giga Drain, Flamethrower, and Earthquake, Celesteela is definitely one of the coolest Pokemon introduced into Sun and Moon. Not only that, but the source material it's based off of just makes this Pokemon even more interesting. Was Game Freak literally throwing darts at a board of ideas when they thought of Bamboo Spaceship Princess? Surprisingly not, as Celesteela is based off the space shuttle known as Kaguya in Japan, named after the princess from the Japanese folktale known as the Tale of the Bamboo Cutter, further giving insight into this Pokemon's unique design and characteristics. Number 3. Silvally. Ultra Beasts flying through wormholes onto your island and killing your dudes? Looks like you're gonna need a Beast Slayer. Luckily for us, the Aether Foundation provided one with the Chimera Pokemon Silvally. Silvally's body is a mishmash of body parts made from other creatures. Its tail, for example, certainly came from a water-type Pokemon. It's easily one of the coolest Pokemon we will ever see, and it's basically the Frankenstein of the Pokemon world. Ironically, the pre-evolution Type Null evolves via high friendship, but that mask doesn't exactly scream hug me. While Type Null is cool, being able to fully see the creature under the mask is why we have Silvally ranked higher. Silvally's ability gives it the potential to become any Pokemon type, which was previously an ability only designated to the legendary Arceus, hence the creatively named RKS system. Couple this with Silvally's expansive move pool consisting of great coverage moves such as Flamethrower, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt, then you've got a potentially threatening Arceus Light on your hands. So yeah, on top of looking cool, Silvally is also near legendary, and just when you think Pokemon don't get any cooler, they do. I mean, duh, we still have 2 more spots to go. Number 2, Lycanroc. You might think Rock Dog would be a pretty lame Pokemon, but Lycanroc is seriously cool looking. To clear the confusion, no, we're not talking about Wile E. Coyote's edgier cousin. We're talking about the majestic Rock Direwolf midday form. The rocks on its mane form a sun silhouette, which is perfectly fitting for a Pokemon that evolves due to sunlight. Who'd have thought the cute and tiny little Rockruff would turn into this majestic beast? With its sharp teeth, streamlined design, and jagged rock mane, there's no denying Lycanroc's midday form is one regal Pokemon. There's something about it that just feels elegant. Most importantly, it doesn't have weirdly long arms or a hunchback mane. Battle-wise, Lycanroc is a solid Pokemon, no pun intended. With its high speed and attack, plus its exclusive new move Accelerock, you've got an awesome Revenge Killer or a Sand Sweeper. They may share a Pokedex entry, but Lycanroc's midday form and midnight forms couldn't be any more different, and if you ask us, one is clearly better than the other. Number 1, Kommo-o. Kommo-o is the Pokemon you never knew you wanted, a fighting dragon. When we first saw Jangmo-o, we thought, wow, what a cute little dragon. And if Pokemon has taught us anything, it's that cute little dragons usually evolve into hardcore, larger-than-life dragons. Don't believe us? Look at Gible, Bagon, or Axew. Then we saw Hakmo-o, which was an insanely cool bipedal fighting dragon. It's honestly difficult to imagine anything cooler than that, but as soon as it evolves into Kommo-o, and you realize there is something cooler, a bipedal fighting dragon with scaly samurai armor? That may be an oversimplification, but when you boil it down, Kommo-o is pretty much a Komodo dragon mixed with samurai armor, and that description alone is worthy of the top spot on our list. Looks aside, adding to Kommo-o's cool factor lizard is the Polynesian lore associated with the Mon. The Mo-o line is based off the Polynesian mythological creature of the same name, Mo-o. In the legends, the Mo-o is a tricky shape-shifting lizard that can be found in lakes or rivers. While the Mo-o is typically a lizard, one of the forms it shapeshifts into is a dragon, and the Kommo-o bears a striking resemblance to Mo-o's dragon form. Can't get any more badass than that. Once again, I'm Ivan, and thanks for watching the 10 best Pokemon in Sun and Moon. Do you agree? Which ones do you think are the best? Which Pokemon would have made your list? Comment below and let us know. And if you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe so you can catch all our latest content. And if you like getting more from your games, subscribe to the Leaderboard, where we help you game smarter.